Good morning, everyone. Thanks to our Amex perks, we are welcoming the morning at the Delta Sky Club. So it's 5:30 in the morning on Thanksgiving Day, and before flying out to San Francisco, we're treating ourselves to a warm, quiet breakfast. Grateful for moments like this while traveling across the USA. After exploring Los Angeles, we're on our way to San Francisco. Excited to reunite with our friends, workmates who became family back in the Philippines. It's been more than 5 years since we last saw each other, and we cannot wait to see how everyone's lives have unfolded. Touchdown San Francisco! We will be picked up by our friend Pupeng, and the plan is to roam around today since our other workmates are on night shift. But still we'll see them tomorrow. So we are staying at their apartment rentals, and we are so lucky we don't have to book a hotel this time. One of the perks of having family here in the USA. And stay tuned because we will also get to visit the houses they've built here in California. So excited to share this part of the journey with you. Fun fact, ang daming Filipino nurses dito sa San Francisco at sa buong Bay Area. Actually, isa to sa mga lugar na matagal nang may malaking presence ng Pinoy healthcare workers because of the biggest hospital systems like UCSF, Stanford, Kaiser, at marami pang iba. And so many opportunities for nurses from bedside to specialty roles. Kilala rin ang San Francisco Bay Area sa one of the highest nursing salaries in the US. Of course, mataas din yung cost of living, pero in terms of career growth and compensation, one of the best places siya for Filipino nurses. Sobrang convenient ng travel papunta sa Philippines. From SFO International Airport, merong direct flights to Manila via Philippine Airlines. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-layover kung gusto mo umuwi. Perfect ito lalo pag may emergency, vacations, and long breaks. Weather-wise, medyo iba siya sa Los Angeles. Mas malamig dito, foggy, at minsan mahangin. Pero that's part of the San Francisco charm. San Francisco is also known for being very accepting, diverse, and multicultural. Kaya comfortable ang mga Filipino dito, especially nurses who are looking for a supportive community and good work-life balance. Welcome to Mission Dolores Park, one of San Francisco's most iconic and relaxing outdoor spaces, located right in the Mission District. It is freezing. It's 9 degrees in Celsius here in San Francisco, California. So, naghahanap pa rin kami ng coffee shop kasi sobrang lamig. It's kinda early and also it's Thanksgiving, so other shops are still not open. And yes, if you are a Filipino living, working, or traveling on the West Coast, the Philippine Consulate General in San Francisco is one of the most important places you will deal with. It is located along Sutter Street, right in the heart of downtown. The consulate is basically a little piece of home in the middle of San Francisco, and it's where thousands of Filipinos go every year to take care of important life documents while living in the US. So, as a Starbucks kami, may dala kaming Portos from Los Angeles. And lahat ng nakakakita sa amin tinatanong saan nakakabili ng Portos. Binigay na lang namin sa mga kabayan and sa mga staff na nasa counter ng Starbucks for Happy Thanksgiving. And of course, you cannot visit San Francisco without experiencing the historic cable car. This is the only moving National Historic Landmark in the United States. The Powell Street line is the most iconic, especially the Powell and Market Station where you will usually see long lines of tourists waiting for their turn. Once you hop on, you will feel that classic San Francisco vibe as the cable car climbs steep hills, passes vintage buildings, and gives you those postcard perfect views. It's not just transportation, it's a piece of history you can ride. This cable car can take you all the way here in the Fisherman's Wharf. It is one of San Francisco's most visited spots, and you will see why as soon as you get here. It is a waterfront area filled with seafood restaurants, souvenir shops, bakeries, and fun attractions. Hello! We're here in Pier 39.
Year 39.
And on the way sa Sea Lions. Kasi nung isang araw nakita kami ng seagull. Ngayon naman Sea Lions.
Pier 59 visitors on a free show, one of our most famous
This is also where you will see the famous sea lions at Pier 39. So from here, you will also get amazing views of Alcatraz Island. The sea lions at Pier 39 are one of San Francisco's most famous and cutest attractions. These wild California sea lions started appearing after the 1989 earthquake. And since then, they have made the floating docks their permanent home. Visitors love watching them because they are playful, noisy, and full of personality. Here at Fisherman's Wharf, you will find one of San Francisco's most iconic food experiences, Bistro Budin. I hope I pronounce it correctly. This is the sit-down restaurant version of the famous Budin Bakery, home of the original San Francisco sourdough since 1849. Everything starts with their historic sourdough, the same recipe they've kept alive for over 170 years. Wow! And of course, the star of the show, their clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl. Creamy, comforting, and perfectly matched with that tangy, chewy bread. What makes Bistro Budin special is the experience. Warm interiors, great food, and beautiful waterfront views. The perfect place to slow down after exploring the wharf. After the wharf, we're here at Lombard Street, also known as the Crook Street. This iconic zigzag road has 8 sharp turns designed to make the super steep hill easier to drive. It's one of the most photographed spots in San Francisco, and the views from up here are stunning. We are riding Waymo. This is a robo-taxi service available in parts of San Francisco and other cities. The car drives on its own, no driver, no steering wheel movement by a person. You book it using the Waymo One app, similar to Uber. You just download Waymo One and then sign up, and then once you approved, you can pick up your pickup location, pin your drop-off location, and then the Waymo vehicle will arrive, usually a Jaguar or similar electric car. Then when it arrives, the car announces your name, door unlocks automatically via the app. You just sit down, buckle up, and the car drives itself all the way to your destination. This is the Presidio. It is a historic former military base turned national park, offering some of the best and closest views of the Golden Gate Bridge. It is known for its peaceful trails, forest areas, open lawns, and scenic overlooks like Crissy Field, Battery East, and Golden Gate Overlook. From here, you can see the bridge's iconic red towers up close while enjoying fresh ocean breeze and wide open spaces. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, one of the most famous landmarks in the world and the iconic symbol of San Francisco. It opened in 1937. It stretches 1.7 miles across the Golden Gate Strait, connecting San Francisco to Marin County. Its signature international orange that was chosen to help the bridge stand out through the city's fog. And now, it's part of what makes it so instantly recognizable. The bridge attracts millions of visitors because of its stunning views, dramatic coastline, and beautiful backdrop of the Pacific Ocean and rolling hills. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the must-see spots that truly captures the beauty of California. This is day 2 here in San Francisco, California. So aside from Sir Pupe, makakasama natin yung isa sa mga seniors ko way back from the Philippines, si Sir Mark, and later on si Sir Nico. We will ask them about life here in California, kung ano yung mga adjustments, and hopefully mapakita nila sa atin yung bahay na meron sila dito sa California. So come with me, samahan nyo ako sa another day of learning and exploring. It is our second day here in San Francisco, California, and we're going to Manteca. Hello, Sir Mark and Pupeng! Yee! Let's go!
Ang tanong ko, bakit parehas kayong kumuha ng contract?
Parehas kaming kumuha ng contract sa staffing agency. Kasi nga, una, to be honest, hindi talaga namin alam. Tapos second, nung nalaman na namin yung pros and cons ng staffing agency, parang sinabi na lang namin na, para sure na lang na magka-work tayo, sabay tayong pupunta sa US parehas, may work na, i-grab na lang namin yun. Do alam namin, mababa yung rate. And then, naka-tied up kami sa kanila, depende sa contract hours. Ayun, sure na lang namin na magkasama kami. Tapos sure kami makapunta ng US.
So number 1 talaga hindi nyo alam?
Number 1, hindi talaga namin alam. Pero alam namin na yung Avant, the staffing agency, nagdadala ng nurse sa US.
Hindi nyo alam na pwede independent.
Oo, late na namin nalaman na pwede yung isa principal, tapos dalhin mo na lang as a dependent yung wife or husband mo. Doon na lang siya maghahanap ng work para direct siya. So malaki yung kita niya, maganda yung benefits. Oh, Sir Mark,
Yes po.
di ba galing kang New York?
Opo.
What's the difference and what are the pros and cons living here in California now?
New York kasi, wala kasing state law na nagmamandate ng ratio. So, hindi ka protected sa workplace mo. So, ang ratio doon is per hospital na lang. So, swerte ka kung napunta mong hospital, may ratio sila. Pero malas mo kung wala. Yung napanggalingan
In 1 mile,
Mabay word ko.
take exit
Pinanggalingan kung hospital kasi, city-run hospital siya. So, hindi siya, wala siya mga ratio. When I was there, I was handling 8 to 15 patients
Ha?
per shift. Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah. Hindi ka protected kasi nga walang state law na nagre-regulate ng hindi kagaya ng California, talagang maximum mo lang pasyente is 4.
Okay.
Tapos pag critical pa siya, 2.
Okay.
Sa New York, minsan ang hawak ko, isang critical, isang intubated, tsaka 8 non-intubated.
Sir Mark, that's way back 20...
That's 2016, 2017.
So ngayon, ganun pa din?
I think so. Kasi ang wala pa rin silang napapas na state law na I think na nagpo-protect nga sa ratio ng staffing.
Ang hirap nun sa safety
Yeah.
mo.
Sa
at
safety ng
patient.
more so sa patient kasi hindi naman nabibigay yung 100% mo. Kawawa yung iba na napapabayaan dahil syempre hindi mo naman kayang bigay yung katawan mo sa 8 pasyente ng sabay-sabay.
Correct. So, nakakontra ka ba doon?
Nakakontak ako dun so nag-buyout ako.
Nag-buyout ka
Oo,
din.
buyout.
Then you decided to move here in California.
Oo.
So, kumusta naman na nag-start ka dito sa California? Mahirap naman. Kasi sabi nila mataas daw yung competition dito sa California for the nurses.
Yeah, medyo competitive. Syempre, yung mga hospital dito, medyo syempre, meron silang kumbaga, meron silang requirement na pumili ng syempre ng mas magagaling na quality ng nurses.
Okay.
Pero nalagpasan naman natin yon at
Yay! Congratulations.
nakipaglaban tayo sa competition.
Wow!
Fighter tayo fighter.
So, ilang taon ka na dito sa California?
Ano pa lang? 9 years.
Wow! 9 years. And then, si Sir Mark nakapagpatayo na din siya ng bahay. Yes! Ang tanong nila is, kapusta yung accessibility ng bahay from hospital to home? Sobrang layo nga ba talaga?
Nasa choice mo naman yun Nasa choice mo. Lahat naman, syempre, may accessible na bahay. Ang rate sa California, kaya mo namang tumira ng malapit sa workplace mo. So, it's a choice kung gusto mong ang piliin yung mas mahal. Ang ano na lang doon ay magbabayad ka ng mas mahal kung gusto mo doon mas malapit. Pero kung gusto mong magtipid, kung gusto mong mas makaipon ng mas malaki, may choice ka na bumili ng mas affordable na bahay. Yun nga lang, medyo malayo, usually sa workplace. Average, pinakamalapit na siguro 1 hour na commute.
Sobrang layo.
Oo.
So maganda talaga na marunong ka mag-drive.
Oo. Ang maganda na lang kasi sa mga couple na parehong nurse, maganda yung ganon kasi base sa computation ko, afford nyong tumira sa Bay Area ng malapit. Afford nyong tumira within 10 minutes of your sa workplace. Kasi kung dalawa kayo magtatrabaho, mga sa couple na RN, yun yung advantage ng couple na RN na parehas na ganun yung income. Afford nyo, sobra-sobra pa yung para magkaroon ng sariling bahay dito sa Bay Area. Kaya.
Oh. Kumusta yung difference ng salary ng New York to here in California?
Yung malaki yung difference. Yung like ko sinasabi, yung salary ko sa New York, 1/4 lang ng salary ko sa California.
Ooh.
1/4.
Mas madaming benefits dito sa
Exactly.
California.
Protected ka ng law sa sa rest period, tsaka meal break. Sa New York wala. Mas marami kaming araw doon, wala kaming break. Nagsasay na lang kami ng no break.
Usually, how many hours ang break sa isang shift?
Sa 12-hour shift, provided kami ng 30 minutes na meal break, saka 15 na rest period. So, total of 45 minutes rest period.
Dami din.
Yeah.
And then, kailangan talaga mag-break.
Kailangan. Nire-require talaga ng law na ang company ay mayroong may specific person na magpo-provide ng break. In the event na talagang walang-wala, which is barely mangyari sa amin once in a while, hindi talaga nangyayari. Wala pa akong incidents na hindi talaga ako nakapag-break. Kasi talagang meron kaming assigned na tao na ang role lang niya mag-break. At marami silang break within the shift. So, laki kami, maganda yung company. Sumusunod talaga sa batas. So, yun.
Okay. And then, yung regarding sa union sa California, kasi minsan parang pag narinig mo yung union, parang, ano ba yun? Parang nagrarally ba sila? Or parang nakakatakot?
Maraming natatakot sa union pag narinig yung union. Pero actually, nagkaroon din ako ng realization na napakaganda ng union. Kasi wala namang ibang hanggan ng union, kundi welfare ng mga nurses. So maganda rin na mayroong representation ng nurses para protektado talaga yung benefits natin tsaka yung welfare.
So sa hospital nyo, merong union?
Meron kaming union sa hospital, local lang siya. Ang union namin is doon lang siya nagko-cover sa dalawang sister hospital namin.
Mhm.
So far naman maganda yung union. I really appreciate yung kanilang ginagawa para sa lahat ng member na nurses. Protektado kami. Lahat ng issue, lagi silang nandyan para mag-back up sa amin. Kahit konting mga problemang personal o problema tungkol sa work related, nandyan sila para mag-back up. So, napakaganda nung sa amin. Ang epekto na may under ka ng represented ka ng union.
Wow, thank you. So Sir Mark, regarding sa sobrang daming Pinoy nurses dito sa California, minsan parang natatala kayong bullying. Tapos lately, napanood ko sa TikTok, yung mismong mga Filipino nurses pa yung nagbubully sa ibang lahi or sa mga kapwa nila Pinoy. Anong masasabi mo doon? Na-experience mo na ba yung bullying from Filipino nurses?
Meron akong ilan-ilan na masasabing nagkaroon, pero hindi naman siya ganun katalamak sa workplace namin. May mga, sa single out na may mga incidents talaga, syempre hindi mo talaga makokontrol lahat ng tao. Pero so far naman sa yung hospital namin kasi, halos half ng population namin talaga Filipino dun sa hospital namin.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, yung more than half ng manager leadership na namin staffing, puro Pilipino. Tatlo yung manager, tatlo yung assistant manager, puro Pilipino. Talagang so dominante yung Pinoy dun sa hospital namin.
Tsaka bawal talagang bullying.
Oo, kasi syempre nire-respeto din naman namin yung mga kasamahan namin Pilipino na nasa leadership position.
Correct.
So far, hindi naman ganun katalamak. May mga pailang-ilan na nangyayari na insidente, pero hindi naman ganun katalamak.
Actually, hindi na naman yung sa California. I think most of the states may ganun.
Oo.
So, depende na lang sa'yo kung paano mo yun
paano mo
i-face,
i-handle.
paano mo i-handle, know the policies,
Saka pwede mo naman kasing
i-escalate.
Yeah, exactly. Pero syempre una, ihilahin mo na sa isang tabi, kung sino man yung tao na just let them know how you feel.
Correct.
Kasi hindi nila nare-realize na yung ginagawa nila is
Bullying na, hindi sila aware.
Pag nagiging na-let them know na aware mo sila na that's how you feel, yun. So malaking bagay na gano'n na
Oo.
inform mo.
Kesa
Kasi
sa
minsan victim
hit
din sila.
mo.
Minsan
Correct.
victim din sila, hindi nila alam na
Oo.
nakakasakit na sila, na bullying na yun.
Na ganun pala yung delivery
Yeah.
nila.
Pero kung may inform mo sila,
That's good.
masisettle. Kung hindi, escalate mo sa leadership.
So, Sir Mark, living here in California, magkano yung rent ng houses dito sa California? At saka, rent ng house or ng apartment here in California.
Medyo mahal yung rent ng house ito kasi nga, syempre, mahal yung property. Pero, like ko sinasabi sa mga nagtatanong kung mas maganda pang mag-rent o bumili ng bahay, sabi ko, depende yun sa priority mo at saka depende sa capacity mo kung magkano natitira sa financial mo. Minsan kasi syempre may mga tao na priority nila may padala yung pera sa family or something like that. Gusto nila magtipid, magrenta lang ng room. Pero kung meron kang family at gusto mong makakuha ng sarili mong property, right? Pare kasi ang laking parang reward sa sarili na, uy, may sarili na akong parcel ng lupa sa Amerika. So rewarding yun sa atin. Tsaka syempre at the same time, investment yung pagbili ng property. Mas lagi na sinasabi kailan pa magandang bumili pag mataas yung value, antay mo bumaba yung interest rate. Wala kasing magandang time na masasabi mo na kasi hindi mo naman mapipredict kung kailan yung best time. So every day is a best time. Ang isipin mo na lang, pagdating ng panahon, wala naman kasi bahay o property dito sa Amerika na bumababa yung presyo. Laging pa sa pataas yan. So, laging bonus yun na investment na libre ka sa tirahan at the same time, tumataas yung value. Kung ayaw mo na in the future, ibenta mo, ang maganda doon, pabalik sa iyo yung pera na binayad mo doon sa monthly mo sa mortgage. Kasi ang renta, wala talaga. Hindi mo napabalik sa iyo yun. Doon pupunta yun sa may-ari ng bahay. So, lagi lugit-lugi magre-renta kasi hindi napabalik sa iyo yung binayad mo.
Okay.
Yung binili mo ng bahay, kung nagbabayad ka ng mortgage, sabihin natin mahal. Pero ang isipin mo, sa iyo yun property mo yun tinatago mo yung pera sa bahay mo. So kung binenta mo in the end, yung lahat ng binayad mo, babalik sa iyo, bonus pa kung malaki yung tinaas ng value ng bahay mo. So laging win-win pag bumili ka ng bahay. Kahit pa sabihin natin masakit at malaki yung babayaran.
So Sir Mark, nung nakabili ka ng bahay, mahirap ba? Mahirap yung process?
Yung process ng pagbili ng bahay is mahirap na masarap.
Okay.
Exciting yung pagbili ng bahay dahil syempre na-excite ka sa ang dami kong pinuntahan na property. Tapos every time makakita ka ng property, parang gusto mo ayaw mo na umalis. Pag nagusto mo, ayaw mo na umalis. Pero syempre, hindi ganun yung process. Pag bibilin mo kasi yung bahay na nayari na, lalabang ka sa bidding eh. May bidding dito eh. Pero kung ang bibilin mo, yung gagawin pa, yun medyo ma-secured yun, wala kang kalaban sa bidding. Ang kalaban mo lang doon is kung kailan ka magkakaroon ng slot. Parang magwe-wait ka lang ng slot mo doon. Pag bibili ka ng bago. Pero kung gusto mong bibilin mo, yung ready to move in, yung talagang fully tapos na. Medyo mahirap yun kasi lalabang ka ng bidding. Dito sa California, sobrang competitive. Hindi ko alam kung saan kumukuha ng pera ang mga tao, pero kaya nilang lumaban ng bidding. Kaya nilang maglagay. For example, yung bahay na for sale lang 1.2 million, may mga lumalaban ng bidding na naglalagay sila ng 200,000 more. 1.4, magiging 1.4 yung final price.
Okay.
Kaya mas lalong tumataas yung presyo ng bahay dito sa California kasi dahil sa mga bidding na yan. Hindi ko alam kung yung mga kalaban natin sa pagbibidding, marami silang perang pangtaas para makuha nila yung property. Kaya yun lang yung sa sobrang in demand ng mga bahay, sa sobrang dami nagbibid, doon tumataas yung presyo. Yung procedure, so first, kukuha ka muna ng realtor mo, o kung may kilala kang realtor, pwede mong yun ang kuhanin mo, tapos kasama kayo sa pagtutur, o pwedeng ikaw muna yung sarili mo, mag-tour ka na lang muna, pumili ka ng bahay na gusto mo. Siyempre, i-consider mo yung location, yung distance kung kaya mo i-travel sa workplace mo. Marami dito pag may mga anak, kino-consider yung school system. Titignan nila yung rating ng school, kung maganda yung school para sa mga anak nila. So yun yung mga consideration na tinitingnan. Titignan mo yung crime rate. Yung iba, kagaya natin Pilipino ako, tinignan ko yung accessible sa akin yung Filipino stores. Ang pinakamalaking naging ko sa akin dito kasi mga kamag-anak ko nandito lahat eh. So, kinonsider ko din yun na malapit sa mga kamag-anak. Ako, mas gusto ko mas malapit sa kamag-anak. Ibang Pinoy ayaw nila. Pero ako, mas gusto ko kasama mas malapit sa kamag-anak kasi close kami.
Correct.
Exciting yung kasi every time na magtutulog ko ng bagong bahay, nakaka-excite. Makakita ng mga bagong style. Yun lang, ang nakaka-disappoint lang kapag nag-bid ka tapos hindi mo nakuha, gusto mo yung bahay. Hindi mo nakuha. Pero okay lang yan. Marami pa namang choices.
Correct. Tsaka sobrang sarap makita mo yung pinaghirapan mo.
Oo.
Dinito ka sa California.
Exciting part yun. Exciting part yung pagbili ng bahay actually. Nakaka-excite. Kaya syempre, pinag-ipunan mo yung bahay, yung pang-down. Tapos makikita mo na bili mo yung property. Syempre, ikaw naman mamimili eh. Syempre, hindi ka naman magbibid kung hindi mo gusto. Tapos once match mo na yung pinili mo, yung gusto mo, nakakatuwa. Sarap sa pakiramdam.
Can you share something about the clinical ladder here in California? What's the process? Kasi sa amin, sa Virginia, ako personally, I work as an ED nurse for like 11 years, pero mag-start kami as RN1. And then we need to reach like some criteria, like it's a point system bago ka mag-convert sa RN2, then RN3, 4. So depende sa mga certifications, nagpe-present ka ng mga PowerPoints or projects, ayun, ganun. How about here in California?
Halos same din naman. I'm talking about yung dalawang hospital na pinagtatrabahuan ko, parang same process sila. Automatic kasi dito, once na meron ka ng at least 1 year of experience, kahit saan man yan experience, automatic, ang bagsak mo RN2. Yun ang simula mo dito. RN2 yung simula mo dito. Tapos, yung sinabi mo na pointing system, ganun din yung procedure doon sa isa kong trabaho. Pointing system din siya. Kung gusto mo maging RN3, RN4, pwede kang lumakdaw actually ng RN2 to RN4 kung enough yung points mo. May mga requirements din. Isa doon yung at least 2 years na doon sa hospital namin. I think at least 1 year pala. At least 2 years ka sa specialty mo, tapos at least 1 year ka doon sa hospital namin. Bago ka maka-lockdown from yung starting level mo papunta sa RN3 or RN4 depende sa points. And then on top of that, ang daming pwede mong lipatan na opportunity. In fact, like ko nga sinasabi, yung example ko, isa sa mga traveler namin noon, in a span of 4 years, director level na siya ngayon.
Wow!
Yeah, nagsimula
Traveler,
siya sa...
kasi sinobserve na siya?
Exactly. Nagsimula siya as traveler, after 2 cycles ng contract, 6 months, na-hire siya as staff.
Wow.
Tapos within 6 months ng role niya as staff, nag-apply siya as educator.
Mm-mm.
Tapos within a year niya as educator, nag-apply siya as assistant manager. Tapos I think within a year, nag-apply siya sa director level, and ngayon director level siya.
Wow, galing.
So, at hindi lang yun lone example, ang daming ganyang kwento na nangyari sa aming doon sa pinatatrabaho kong hospital. Ang ganda nung, kung gusto mo talaga, kung ang focus mo is career ladder, ay perfect place yun para sa mga gusto mong mangat. Ang perfect perfect workplace. Talagang inaano nila, ini-encourage pa nga nila ang staff na mag-join sa mga ganyan, mag-join sa mag-increase ng level from RN2 to RN4. Ganon ka-encouraging yung leadership namin. Ang magiging difference mo sa hourly rate namin is compounding kasama yung effect nun sa differential saka sa retirement mo. Almost $14 to $15 per hour yung difference. Jumping from RN2 to RN4.
$14 to $15
Yes.
difference.
Yep.
Wow.
Ang idadagdag sa hourly rate mo. So, very rewarding. Wala ka namang gagawing bagong yung pointing system ang gagawin mo. Kailangan mo lang i-maintain yung pointing system. That also includes the same thing lang sinasabi mo na kailangan ng certification, kailangan mong mag-join sa mga committee na nagtutulong sa enhancement ng department. Kasama rin sa pointing system namin yung nag-a-attend ka sa mga medical mission,
May volunteers.
may volunteers, kasama din yon. At kung nagsusulat ka sa mga journal o sa mga libro or nag-i-speak ka sa mga national convention about nursing, kasama sa mga points na tinitingnan yun. At syempre, kung in-enhance mo ang sarili mo sa pag-obtain ng mga special skills like pagsali sa pagkuha ng ultrasound guided IV, naka-certified yung sarili mo. So lahat yun binibigyan ng points at yun yung way ng process namin para makakuha ka ng points para mag-level up to clinical ladder.
Sana
And then also, yun nga, sabi ko nga kanina, ang daming opportunity kung gusto mong mag-nurse educator, kung gusto mong maging part ng quality. So, ang daming way para mag-level up sa career.
So Sir Mark, anong sasabi mo dun sa mga nurses sa Philippines? Worth it nga bang pumunta dito sa USA?
Sa mga nurses na nasa Pilipinas, inaantay namin kayo.
Yes!
Sobrang worth it. Alam ko maraming pagdadaan ng hirap, pabalik-balik, makapasa sa exam. Number 1, makapasa ka sa NCLEX, diba? Yung mga requirements, yung mga babayatan, madugo yung mga pagdadaanan ng procedure, pero sobrang worth it. Sobrang worth it. Huwag kayong mawala ng pag-asa. Kung hindi kayo makapasagad sa NCLEX sa unang try, may second try, may third try, may fourth try. Unending yung try na pwede nyo gawin. Try lang ng try. Wala namang walang may mawawala sa inyo pera, pero sabi ko nga, at the end, worth it pa rin. So, keep on trying.
Sir Mark, this is your house!
Tapos yung
Ooh,
housemate mo,
fancy!
may mga panty. May
Kaya,
mga panty sa sala.
kaya medyo yan.
Then Sir Mark, pinaparent mo na ngayon.
Per room lang ako, hindi bahay.
Okay.
Para nakaka-uwi ako.
Per room lang para makauwi ka. Good investment talaga, no?
Sir Mark was my supervisor back in the Philippines, and now he has built this home as a smart investment for his future. He doesn't stay here, but with 2 rooms available, he rents one out, turning this space into a steady source of income while he continues his career as a nurse. Truly a wise move, and a reflection of his foresight and hard work.
So yung nasa master bedroom is yung umuupa na
Ito na si Puping dati.
student.
Ito yung room ni Puping dati. Ito po siya.
Wow! Yay! Ang laki din! Ano to? Cabinet? Closet? Lo, parang model room.
Model ako.
Tapos ito, ano to, Sir Mark?
Ano lang yan?
Yung mga
Cabinet.
cabinet.
Itong CR.
Pwedeng buksan. Buksan ko.
Wala na.
Oh, laki din ng bathroom. And okay, separate.
So yung bahay na to ay ano na siya, 9 years old.
9 years old na. So, binili mo na siya na ganito na. Yari na.
Yeah. Paglaban tayo ng baby.
Nakipaglaban tayo ng bidding. Wow.
At alam mo kung magkano ang tinas ko sa baby?
Magkano?
2,500.
Swerte!
Kasi hindi ko alam, yung may-ari ng bahay na to, actually hindi ko ito unang ibili, yung kabila.
Ah,
Hindi ko alam na isa na lang may-ari.
okay.
Pero yung bahay na nabenta yung binibenta, ang binibili ko kami na kasi sino yung kabila.
Mhm.
Oo. So nag-bid ako doon, hindi ko nakuha. Sabi ko, ito katabi na lang kaya. Ito. So hindi ko siya nakita. Itong kabila nakita ko, pinandahan ko. Pero hindi ko ito sinilip.
Mhm.
Tapos kung hindi ko na yung kabila, binid ko to, same day na ako.
Wow. Swerte. Para sa'yo daw talaga.
Umaga, tinasanong di ako doon. Umaga, wala yung hapon. Sabi ko, "Ma, nakita ko ba yun? Sabi ko, hindi ko nakikita yun. Nakasip tayo.
Wow.
Sir Nico's house is a 2-story home with 5 rooms. And you can really see how everything is designed to be useful, not just for their family, but also for friends or visitors who might need to stay over. Everything is newly built, and the neighborhood, from what I observed, is really great and feels very safe.
Okay, let's go to Sir Nico's house here in California.
Huwag ka na mag-nurse, mag-plaga ka na.
Yes! Hindi pwede. O, tara na. Ganda. Tito, say hello. 2 floors. Kailan ka nga lumipat dito? Saan pa mahigit na? Laki.
Hindi ko na ito, malaking yan.
Grabe, ang laki, ang hirap linisin.
Hindi
Hindi ka na nililinis. Huwag pa lilinisin.
Kaiyaw mo.
Baka masira.
Wow!
Ba't wala ka pa TV din eh?
Ilang rooms?
Naghihintay ako ng sale. 5.
Wala, ang laki naman. 5 rooms. Ito yung masters? Wow, ang laki. Ang ganda ni Ino. Hi, Ina.
Uy! Tangina, may mga picture.
Yes! Woohoo!
Saan nagpagawa yung mga picture?
Sa ano? Yung
Dapat sa labas mo ito nalagay, hindi sa loob.
pangalan nito. Lalagyan mo yun.
Dun sa ano, no? Dun sa...
Pagpulingin yan.
Kamilaan yan.
Ang ganda naman ni Ina, parang Joseph.
Hi, parang ako lang. Ang dami. Cute naman ano.
Sabi ni Madam, pag nakuha niya ang Irish plate,
Say hello!
sabon niya.
Pupeng!
Vlogger. Kasama tayong vloggerist.
While we were roaming around the mall, trying to decide where to eat, they suddenly heard a gunshot.
Are they okay?
If this happened, be calm. and be aware. If you ever hear what sounds like a gunshot in a public place, the first thing is to stay calm and be aware of your surroundings. Don't panic, but observe what people around you are doing. The safest thing to do is move away from where the sound came from. Don't run blindly. Look for the nearest exit or a safe corner. Follow the instructions of mall security or staff. They are trained for situations like this, and staying calm while following them helps keep everyone safe. Avoid crowded areas or running toward where people are screaming or rushing. Try to take a safer, quieter route out of the mall. If you cannot get out, find a place to hide. Stay low, stay quiet, and keep your phone on silent. If it's safe and you have clear information, call 911. But only do it when you're already in a secure place. We pray that no one is in critical condition. Tonight was overwhelming, but in the middle of everything, we still choose to celebrate life and be grateful. This reunion with friends reminded us how precious every moment is. After years apart, being together again, sharing stories, laughter, and comfort made this night unforgettable. Seeing Filipino nurses here in California, some with homes, some still working toward it but already stable and okay, reminds me that success is not one size fits all. We each have our own path, and every achievement counts. Thank you for joining me on this trip to San Francisco. This journey reminded me that every state has its own beauty and its own madness. Yes, we even heard the gunshot at the mall and it was a scary moment, but still, life is beautiful. What matters most is how we choose to respond, how we see things, and how we let experiences shape us. Challenges will always be there, but so will joy, friendship, growth, and new adventures. At the end of the day, it's up to you how you will let each moment affect your life. And now, for the last stop of this travel series, can you guess where we're heading next? Clue! It's the Sin State.